Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the University of Pennsylvania. My name is Dr. Rudy Altamirano. I'm also called Dr. Rudy here by students, and I serve as Executive Director of International Student and Scholar Services and Executive Director of Immigration Services and Integration Programs within Penn Global. On behalf of our entire ISS team, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the Penn community. And since you're joining us from around the world, I know it's different times of the day depending on where you are. And we're grateful that you've taken the time to be with us today. So whether you're an undergraduate, graduate, professional, exchange, or visiting student, we are thrilled that you've chosen Penn, and we're honored to be part of your journey. So we know that preparing to move to another country is both exciting and at times overwhelming. Today and tomorrow's session is designed to help you prepare for your arrival by introducing you to the resources, the information, and the support available to you before you travel and after you arrive on campus. So before we begin, we'd love to know where everyone is joining us from. Please introduce yourself in the chat and tell us the country you'll be traveling from. It's always exciting to see the incredible global reach of our Penn community, and we'll take a moment to recognize the countries represented today. So again, put your countries on the chat. And so again, welcome once again to Penn. We're delighted you're here, and we look forward to meeting you on campus very soon. Okay, after that, we'll begin by giving an overview of what we'll be covering during today's session. So let's see what's in the chat. Let me look. We have people from, let's see. China, Germany, Argentina, Kazakhstan, wow, Canada. We have Finland, Philippines, Mongolia, Vietnam, Taiwan. We have a lot of Canadians here. Rwanda, from Spain now, Spain, United Arab Emirates, Brazil, India, of course, Greece, Uruguay. Let's see. I'm looking Ethiopia, Macau, Greece, again, Morocco, Mexico, Australia. Okay, Japan is joining us, Hong Kong, UK, Thailand, Cyprus, Indonesia. Okay, let's see if there's new countries. Denmark. Wow, we have someone from Scandinavia here. So we have someone from the Caribbean, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have Greenland. Wow, that's amazing. First time I've seen Greenland in a Forerunner Global event. Malaysia, but in Arizona now. Okay, good. Thank you for clarifying that. We have from Turkey, South Africa. Wow, Nepal, Egypt, Bulgaria, Sweden, Singapore. Are we all taken? Bangladesh. Any more? Any more? Please speak now, okay? Or hold your peace. Okay, let's start with our official programming here. So welcome to Forerunner Global. I talk to you, I introduce myself. I'm the Executive Director of the International Student Scholar Services. And so we're very excited that you're joining it. Now we will show you a video that was created by our students. We have two versions. This version is 10 years ago. It's still the classic one. And tomorrow, when you join part 2 tomorrow, you'll be seeing 10 years later and see the new video, the new version with the current students. So this was 10 years ago. So it's fascinating. This We Are Penn Beyond Borders. Let's play it.
Lasst uns alle zusammenkommen.
Decina à Peru.
开启你心和声音。
Pour le rouge royal et bleu. Harvard's tem seu vermelho.
모래니의 색깔도
مگر Pennsylvania 길이에
아까도 아기를
حلوة حلوة بنسلفانيا mabuhay sa pula at bakaw.
Hurrah, 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 hurrah. Hurrah for the red and blue.
We take pride when we created that video, and it just shows that how global Penn is. And we're very excited that we're the only Ivy. I'm very proud of this because we're the only Ivy university that retranslated their fight song into a global version. So we're very proud of this and looking for, and tomorrow, if you want, if you join us, you'll see the part 2, the new version. So we'll do a brief introduction to today of what's happening for day 1 and what's happening for day 2, right? So for today, we'll do a brief introduction to International Student Scholar Services because we are your office that you'll be working with. Of course, before you even come to the university, you're already working with our office to get your I-20s and your DS 2019. So you will know more about our 2 primary areas of support, immigration services, and then the integration programs. And then we'll transition into our immigration information session, where we'll discuss the visa application process, the key immigration documents and important steps, important immigration do's and don'ts, CV's reporting responsibilities. I want you to be very alert listening to all of this, the practical tips for a smooth arrival in the United States, and general reminders. And after that, we'll focus on helping you navigate the many resources available at Penn to support your success. So the topics will include navigating Penn resources, safety and scam awareness, immunization, and health insurance requirements. Very, very daunting topics here. Wellness and health resources, housing support, career services, and academic support services. So by the end of today's program, you will have a better understanding of your immigration responsibilities, the resources available to you, and of course, the many ways Penn is here to support your academic, personal, and professional success. And we're excited to welcome you to the Penn community and look forward to supporting you throughout your journey here. Day 2, tomorrow, will again be, oh no, come on, Mike, next, please. Day 2. So day 2 will be more exciting too, because you'll be meeting with faculty members. One faculty will be from the Wharton School, one will be in Graduate School of Education, and another faculty from engineering. And then, of course, we will have our 4 panelists, 2 undergraduate, Karen undergraduate students, and then 2 graduate students to provide their words of wisdom and their perspective on how to navigate Penn. Okay? So with that, let's start talking about the next slide here, Mike, if you don't mind, which is ISS at a glance. What is ISSS? So this is to give you a clear overview of what is available or what are available to ISS and help you understand what you need to know and do before traveling to and arriving in the United States. I think you have to get to know our office because we are the office that you will be dealing with before you arrive, and we will be the office that you will be working with before and after you leave the university. So ISS, or International Student Scholar Services, is the University of Pennsylvania's central office dedicated to supporting our international community. And today we serve more than 10,600 international students and scholars from around the world. And so while many people know us for helping international students, a lot of you will not know this, our work extends well beyond students. We also support faculty, researchers, scholars, postdoctoral fellows, staff, and administrators across the university. Our services reach every part of Penn. Just want to let you know that, including the Penn Health Services, the Wharton San Francisco, New Bolton Center, Morris Arboretum, and all of Penn schools and centers, and the health system, the hospitals of the University of Pennsylvania. So at ISSS, Our work is built on two core pillars, which is very unique to our office: immigration and integration. You can see this in the left slide. Our immigration team helps members of our international community navigate U.S. immigration regulations, maintain your status, and understand the rules that apply throughout your time at Penn. Our integration team focuses on helping you thrive beyond immigration through orientation, intercultural learning, community engagement, leadership development, wellness, and opportunities to build meaningful connections across the university. So, a phrase we often use is immigration compliance is our language, integration is our mission. And we believe that success at Penn involves not only maintaining your legal status, but also feeling connected, supported, and engaged in the Penn community. And so finally, you'll notice another phrase on this slide: no borders, no breaks. That reflects our commitment to providing year-round support from the moment you begin preparing for Penn, throughout your academic journey, and even as you transition to your next chapter after graduation. We don't have they say, low peak season, high peak. We are always serving our students. We're open 365 days a year. Of course, we have some holiday breaks, but we never stop serving you, because students have vacations, but remember, we still have scholars and faculty arriving. Our goal is very simple, but I want to mention this to you: to help you succeed academically, personally, professionally, and legally during your time at Penn. Okay? So just want to let you know that that is how I hope you get a more encapsulated perspective of why ISS is very important in your life. Because that's why it's ISSS. It's your office when you arrive here in the University of Pennsylvania. And my team and I cannot wait to see you. We have an undergraduate orientation where you'll be meeting all my team colleagues, so that you can get to know the advisors, as well as for the graduate students. We also have a reception for the graduate students this August. Okay, let me now transition to the next slide. This is where we are. So I know navigating a new place might be very sometimes disorienting, but that building is the location of ISSS. We're in Walnut Street, 3935. Go to the 5th floor, elevator, ride the elevator, and we are there. Welcome you. And so you can call us. You can see the number there. I want you to get your phone now and follow our Instagram and Facebook. I want you to do that now, because we will be providing you with a lot of information for the next few weeks, okay, about ISS, your arrival, all the announcements there. So take a 1 minute. I'll wait for 1 minute for you to follow us if you have an Instagram, or some of you have Facebook still, but a lot of you have Instagram. So do it. I'm waiting for 1 minute here. Okay, I hope, because when I see you in person, I will ask, I always do this, I'll ask students if they really subscribe to our social media. Trust me, I'm not just doing that so that you will subscribe. This is our connection, especially with the current landscape now. I believe that this is more pivotal. Your connection to our office is very important. We also have a YouTube channel at ISS Penn, where we provide our webinars, our workshops, our programs, and then we want you to subscribe to the Global Quaker. We will not bombard you with so many of this, but it's in a regular way. We will be providing you with some updates. It's global.upenn.edu, ISS, Global Quaker. Okay. Next, I will transition to my colleague, Dr. Yuhong He, who's the Director of Integration, Community Engagement, and Marketing. Okay, and he will talk about the integration programs, which is very important, especially you need to belong. That's a very important aspect of surviving and succeeding in a university like Penn. Okay, Dr. He, take it from here, and I'll be back after a few slides and a few presentations. Welcome again.
Thank you, Dr. Rudy. Welcome everyone. My name is Yu Hong He. So I'm super excited to have you here. I lead the integration team at ISSS. So we work closely with everyone in ISSS and trying to support you, both inside and outside of the classroom. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, how to navigate integration resources, at ISSS. Next slide. I encourage everyone to take a moment, either today or in the following days, to go on to ISSS website. Even if you have already done so, but this is a sort of like a little bit tip, for you to find all of the resources that we have put together and on the website. So when you go onto the website, you will see Access Essentials, Immigration, Integration, and also all about ISSS. So click on Integration, and the drop-down menu will show you the many programs and events and that we do, to support different groups of international community. So, we really try our very best to support students throughout their life cycle, from departure to, arrival to throughout the school year and graduation and beyond. So we have programs that really, trying to address different kind of needs that international students and scholars may experience. And if there are things that we, are not doing, we also welcome students' input and ideas and to help us strengthen, the support that's very important for the international community. Next slide. A kind of a heads up about some of the upcoming programs. So for international undergraduate students, some of you receive the invitation to apply for pre-orientation program. So ISSS runs a pre-orientation program called Penn Global Mosaic. Students should have already received their acceptance, and we are excited, to meet with them and, and do the program from August 15 to 17. But for the larger international community members, there is the International Orientation Week from August 17 to 21st with a variety of events and activities that supports both international undergrad students and grad students. So please take a note of these days, and if you arrive, during this week, hopefully you will, and please make sure to check out our International Student Orientation Week website, which is going to be updated very soon. And on that website, you can register for different events. And I wanted to highlight that undergraduate students will have a welcome picnic on Monday afternoon, August 17, and then grad students will have their own welcome reception on Friday, August 21st. And then many of you also participated in the program called International Peer Mentorship Program. So on September 4th, we will be hosting a reception for both mentors and mentees to come together to see each other and also to recognize the mentors, for their important work and, for the community. And then, very soon after that, we are hosting the Intercultural Leadership Program that's open to both new undergrad and grad and also international and US students. So the invitation to apply for this program should go out, like you should receive it either today, maybe tomorrow, by the end of this week. So when you receive the email, make sure that you do read it and then also consider applying to it. So we are going to have a cohort of about 40 to 50 students come together to really learn more about intercultural leadership, cross-cultural communication, and also, kind of global citizenship kind of skills and mindset. Last but not the least, and throughout the school year, we will be hosting, organizing excursions through the Culture Crossings program. So again, like Dr. Rudy mentioned, be sure to follow us on our Instagram. You will be getting our newsletter. Please open them and read them. And then, definitely we look forward to you, signing up and joining us in those activities. Now, let me turn it over to, Dr. Lily Zhang for the immigration introduction.
Thank you, Yuhong. Hello, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity through Forerunner Global that we can meet with you virtually. More importantly, I look forward to meeting with all of you in person on Penn's campus. My name is Lily Zhang. I'm the Director for Immigration, Compliance, IT, and Operations for International Student and Scholar Services. To put it in the very simple terms, I help to bring you to Penn, passing through all the immigration related procedures. Also, today I'm here with a few of my team members. You're going to hear from Donna Stanfield. Also, we have two outstanding advisors who is watching the FAQs and trying to answer your question real time, Mara and Adiola. So thank you very much for allowing us the opportunity to serve you. Next slide, please. So immigration itself, it's a very complicated matter. On our ISS website, you will see we have very designated section for students, scholars, departments, and there's some common topic like travel. It require particular special attention. Our main reminder for you is to pay attention to our ISS website, and also frequently we send out email announcements if there is any significant policy changes. So for instance, some of you may be aware the US government had released a new policy change, and for duration of status, which we were familiar with for many, many years, starting this year, they're going to have a fixed duration of stay for everyone who enter after September 15th. So today we will have a webinar. If you are able to join, then you can. If you don't have the schedule matching at the moment, don't worry, we will have more sessions like this. And also we will record today's session. Next slide, please. Now, to access our IPEN services, which is the portal that you already use to apply for your I-20, you have to have your PEN key. With the PEN key access, then you're going to be easily access our IPEN portal. Next slide. Once you log in to our IPEN portal, the thing that we want you to pay close attention is everyone will have an identified ISS advisor on the IPEN front page. So we want you to pay attention when you log in and make a note of your advisor. This advisor, at the time that we issue I-20, can be either Aaron or Han. But once you report to ISS, when we activate your service record, then you will get another advisor's name that's going to help you through your duration of stay at Penn to help with your undergrad, graduate, or PhD program. And that person will be your go-to person first. And whenever that you have issues, we are going to be here helping you as a team. We also have ISS advisor provide appointment and virtual drop-in at a designated time. So whenever you have question, we want you to reach out to us so that we can help you further. Next slide, please. We also have an ISS contact form on our website. So if you have a question that you feel it is too general, or maybe it's not immigration related, It can be, for instance, integration or maybe some programming ideas. We welcome you to submit this contact form so that we can collect those ideas, or sometimes it's your feedback. Next slide, please. We also want to highlight this virtual appointment. Basically, not only you will be able to schedule appointments for individual advisor, on the same page, we also have virtual drop-in window. So every day we will have at least 1 or 2 hours to allow you, without appointments, you can speak with an advisor as well. Next slide, please. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Donna, and she will give you additional important reminders in terms of maintaining your status. Take it away, please, Donna.
Thank you, Lily. And hello, everyone, and welcome to Penn. I'm going to go over some information that will be important for your stay here regarding to your immigration status and for arriving. So we can go ahead to the next slide. Thank you. So these are the topics that we're going to go over. Some information for before you arrive, your entry, your check-in here at Penn, things to consider and to know during your studies, and kind of to go over more what Lily has mentioned, some of the emerging issues in regards to some of the change in the rules that are currently being put in place. So the most important thing when, now and then once you're here is there's 4 main documents that you are going to want to be familiar with. Some you already have and are like your passport, of course, you're familiar with that, knowing its expiration date, if or when you receive your visa stamp, and either your I-20 or your DS 2019 for our J1 students. So you kind of will need to really make sure you're on top of these documents. In addition, when you enter, you'll receive an I-94 record that you'll access in a Customs and Border Protection website database. And it's going to be very important that you are going to note what they refer to as your AUD date. If you're coming soon, it may be DS, but eventually, again, as you'll find more information, it may change to a date specific. So you always want to know whether you have, every time you travel, what that date's going to be. Okay, so before you come, so some of you may already have this, or some may still be applying for your I-20 for our F1 students, or the DS 2019 that we will issue to you. After you receive that document, it's your certificate of eligibility listing, that you're coming to Penn for a certain program and the dates, but you'll use that to pay your CVIS fee as well as the visa fee when you go to apply the application for the consulate. So you will be doing, unless you're a Canadian citizen or a citizen of Bermuda, you will be scheduling a visa appointment at a US consulate in your home country, or if you are a permanent resident where you're located. Once you receive your visa, then you'll be able to enter the US, but there is a maximum time. You can't enter more than 30 days prior to the start date on that Form I-20 or DS 2019. Okay, so for the visa application process itself. And so there's some QR codes if you want to take note take note of those while I go through this slide. But once you have that document and you paid your CVIS fee, or do you have the I-20 or the DS 2019 and paid that CVIS fee, you're going to schedule a visa appointment at the US Embassy or Consulate. And this will give you the link to where you would go. So the things that you're going to need to bring with you, in addition to anything else the consulate specifies, is, of course, your passport should be valid for at least 6 months into the future. When you complete the online DS 160 visa application, you're going to get a confirmation page. Form I-20 or DS 2019, you want to make sure that you're printing that form out that we've sent you and you're signing the bottom of the first page. Also, the fee receipts listed, the SEVIS fee and the MRB visa fee receipt, the passport size photos. You want to have on you the financial documents that you would have presented or will present for your I-20 or DS 2019. Carry copies of those. You want to print out and carry your Penn admission letter. And you're going to be needing to go through any of your social media contacts and wanting to make sure that your profiles are public at the time when you're going for your visa appointment. Again, the U.S. consulate may have additional information they want you to provide when you go through the process, but here is a list of what you want at a minimum. So when you're going through the interview at the consulate, you just want to make sure, I'll start with just being polite, professional, calm. You want to be able to clearly explain your plans for coming to the US, what you plan to study, your plans afterwards. You want to be truthful and confident and just clearly give the information to the questions that are asked. You don't have to elaborate on additional information that's not being asked, but you just want to make sure that you're clearly, calmly answering the questions that are posed to you during the interview. So then hopefully after the interview, you'll have your visa. You want to make sure everything looks okay. They marked you, if you're an F1 student, they marked F1. If you're J1, they marked you as J1. Make sure everything looks correct on the form, on the what's stamped into your passport. And if you do have any issues or delays, we do have what's called a visa reporting e-form in our IPEN system. Now, IPEN is where you would have applied for your I-20 or DS 2019. You can log back into that system and submit this e-form, and that will notify us of your visa situation. Also, you want to make sure you're in touch with your academic department because if there's going to be any significant delay that may require discussion in regards to a delayed start, deferral, you want to make sure you're in contact with them and we can all coordinate together with next steps. So when you're coming into the US, you want to make sure you're carrying your important documents, not in your checked luggage. So when you go through inspection at the Customs and Border Protection, you are having those readily available. So, of course, we mentioned your passport. So again, unless you're from Canada or Bermuda, you're going to have the visa sticker that's in your passport itself. That's going to be for the F1 or the J1, your printed version of your I-20 or DS 2019, SEVIS fee receipt, your admission letter from Penn, and the proof of funding, the financial documents that you showed for your I-20 DS 2019 application or and what you showed at the consulate. So have all of these printed and on your person. And again, just, when when you're with the Customs and Border Protection officer, it's important, you're clearly presenting yourself, professional demeanor, being clear, concise, and just make sure that, they know you're coming here, for your study, what your plans are afterwards, and just answering the questions posed to you. And, just staying calm. And sometimes if they have a very limited time, um, to assess your entry and not to be concerned if more time is needed and for example, you need to go into a secondary inspection where additional checks are needed. Don't be concerned. This is something that could be part of the process. It just may take longer. So you want to plan for any possible time coming in. Okay. Be prepared. It is something that they can look at your electronics, whether it's your laptop, phone, iPad, social media accounts. It's important to know that they can be looked through and searched. It is something that they can do upon entry. And just so you know that if you don't have, if you're anything that's deleted or devices, they it may look invite further investigations. So, but just something to be aware that that may be something that may happen upon entry. Okay, so you're here, you're at Penn, ready to go to orientation, but what you want to make sure is priority as soon as you're here, you want to make sure that you are going and you're looking up your I-94, and you're printing that, what they call I-94 arrival departure record from that website there, cbp.gov/I-94. And that link, you're going to see that on our website, on our arrival e-form. But you're going to complete that arrival e-form in IPEN. So you do a tutorial, complete that arrival e-form, and that way we can make you active and you've done that first immigration requirement and have gotten that taken care of. Make sure you're going to all the new student on campus orientations. ISSS will have, especially the mandatory orientation, which you'll learn more about. Always read your emails, not just in the beginning, but all through your program. And whenever you're not certain about what an email is meant, for you, talk to your advisor. But so important to make sure you read all your emails, whether it's immigration, academic, everything. Very important tip as a new student. And make sure you're mindful of all deadlines and allow enough time to meet those deadlines. Okay, so some of your reporting responsibilities during your program is when you go into Path at Penn, you're going to have your current U.S. residential address there. Whenever you move, within 10 days of that move, you want to make sure you're going in and reporting that. That is an immigration requirement, is to always report your any type of move and where you're physically living. And what happens is when you do the update at Path at Penn, it's going to come into our system so we can update CVIS on your behalf. um, any type of changes to your program, funding, major transfer in and out, you're going to want to really discuss that with us and discuss that with us well in advance because some of the parts of the new rule that we've mentioned may have limitations with that. So you want to know what's going to be possible before you decide to make any changes. Also, if you're going to end your program early or need to extend it, it's important that you're consulting with us. And any activity that violates US law, you want to make sure that you're abiding by that. If you think you're going to take a leave or withdraw, talk to us before taking any action. We want to make sure that we go over with you how it impacts your immigration status and your timing and anything to consider in that area. Okay. So other things, so these are things that you need to do to make sure you're maintaining your status while you're here. You always have to make sure you're maintaining full-time enrollment. There are limited exceptions, but if you do need, to not be full-time enrolled, talk to ISSS to see what's possible or what steps you need to take. Because there is authorization to drop below full-time that will need to be done before you do so. Make sure you're continuing making normal academic progress, good academic progress. Part of your F1J1 status is that you're taking the steps you need to complete your program in a normal um, trans what can I say, normal way to do it, that most students are taking that timing. Make sure all your information is accurate. You always want to make sure any type of changes, again, as I mentioned, that you're discussing with us. And working in the US without having proper authorization is a really major immigration violation. So any type of employment that is not clearly for Penn, you want to make sure that you're talking with your advisor because you likely will need authorization if it's not here at Penn. And again, as we mentioned, mindful of deadlines, allowing plenty of time to need to have any type of action taken for you and any updates that need to be made. Okay, so things to avoid. Um, don't ever take any unauthorized employment activities. Even volunteering could be considered employment. You want to always talk to ISSS to discuss anything further. It could end your F1 status or J1 status in the US. Don't rely on friends, staff, social media, chat GPT for any immigration and guidance. If you're not sure about something, you have an assigned advisor. As Lily mentioned, you can go into IPEN after you're here and you're checked in. You're going to see who your assigned advisor is, and you're going to see their email and are all of our advising hours that we have. Come talk to us. We want to make sure that you know the information that's going to important to keep everything in place for you while you're here. Never ignore our emails. Can't say it enough. Always make sure to check our emails and definitely don't wait to the last minute to submit applications or requests. Things that have to go to USCIS, they don't, if they're late, it very possible may not work out. So even though we would love to do something in regards to allowing let's say an extension or meeting some type of deadline, a lot of times USCIS, the government, is not going to take those requests. So never wait to the last minute. In regards to employment, I mentioned working for Penn. What is permitted is on-campus employment. So if you're working basically here at Penn, you're being paid by Penn, and the work you're doing is for Penn, that is something that you are permitted to do. F1s and J1s as well can do up to 20 hours a week during school. This is part of your status. J1s, I'll just mention, do need an additional form, but that is an internal approval that gets updated in CVIS. So if you're going to have any on-campus employment and you have any questions related to that, definitely talk to your advisor. Off-campus employment options, this is something that almost all students on this webinar won't be doing probably in their first year, possibly not for a couple of years, but these are the types of work authorization that you'll want to, as you start at Penn and get further into your program, become familiar with. There's CPT, which is curricular practical training. You'll hear OPT referred to. STEM OPT is something, well after, that's going to be after graduation. And for our J1 students, it's referred to as academic training. Okay. All right, so you've heard us refer to some of the new rule. So there is something that's going to be a change. I mean, you'll be new, so it might not be as much of a change for you, but you want to make sure that you are, we definitely encourage the webinar this afternoon, I believe is full, but if you see that YouTube link, we are going to be posting that. I would definitely encourage you to watch that YouTube video. I believe it will be posted, if not by the end of today or tomorrow. But if you just check tomorrow, I believe you'll be able to see it. My colleagues, please feel free to correct me. But that will allow you to view it, and we'll be having additional webinars that will be announced. So when you come, if you're coming into the US before September 15th, that I-94 record I showed you earlier will say DS, but the next time you travel, it's going to be a date specific. So it's going to say your admit until date. If you come in after the holidays, let's say you come in January 2nd, it may say admit until and maybe the end of your program, but no more than 4 years. So depending on if you travel, when you travel, something to keep in mind that I-94 is something you always have to monitor and update us. If there's additional time needed for your program, there might be applications to USCIS in addition to extending your I-20, your DS 2019, an extension of stay maybe is going to be required. There's going to be changes to the grace period. Your grace period will go to 30 days. Maintaining status, changes in your academic objectives, things like that are updates that we will be explaining further. And again, things you want to consider discussing more once you're here and you're thinking about your future options, talking to ISSS, and not just even future, but what you're planning at the time. If there's anything that could be changing for you, make sure you're talking to us, going through our website information, viewing these webinars to help you to navigate what these updates will mean for you. Okay. Okay, some final tips and reminders. Once you're here, well, your CVIS record will be activated, so you want to make sure as soon as you get here, completing that arrival e-form and IPEN. If you're booking your tickets, make sure it's not more than 30 days from the start date on your Form I-20 or DS 2019. When you are here and you plan to travel outside the US, you want to make sure you're always having you have a valid travel signature on your I-20 or DS 2019. When you come back, you're checking your I-94 to make sure you're admitted properly, taking note of what the admit until date is. And again, once you do that arrival form, you're going to see your assigned advisor for while you're a current student updated in your IPEN portal. Always make sure you're making your valid F1 or J1 status, keep everything up to date, being full-time, and never accepting unauthorized employment. And read our emails and check our website always for timely immigration updates. We are always going to make sure, if anything, that we are posting any news, and join our newsletter. Make sure you're on our read our newsletter, read those emails that come out. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rudy for his words of wisdom. Thank you very much. And again, welcome to Penn.
Thank you, Donna. I hope you listened to that very carefully. Candidly, I want to tell you, as a former international student myself, one thing I learned through life as an international student is not ignore all of the information that is provided to you. Especially with the current landscape, I think I would like, if I have to share something, I want you to take this seriously. I want you to take notes. And again, what Donna said, do not ignore our emails because we'll be providing you with very important information. If you are not able to maintain your lawful immigration status because of your lack of accountability or looking at this very carefully, that can also impact your success as a student. So I just want to tell you that as a Penn student, one of the elements and the qualities of a Penn student is accountability and responsibility. And I want you to take your immigration responsibility very, very seriously, okay? With that, as a lighter note, students have been clamoring for not long, tedious information about immigration. And they requested, Dr. Rudy, can you do a cartoon so that we can just watch it in less than 5 minutes about the 10 things that you want to tell us? So with that, based on the student demand, here's my words of wisdom. Remember these 10 things as you navigate the University of Pennsylvania.
Hi everyone, Dr. Rudy here from International Student and Scholar Services. On behalf of the University of Pennsylvania, welcome to our global Penn community. Let's start with a quick tour of our Penn Global ISS offices. We're located at 3935 Walnut Street, next to the campus McDonald's restaurant and across from Gutman College House. A quick Penn card tap and you're in. Our front desk is on the 5th floor, accessible by elevator, or you can take the front stairwell if you're getting your steps in. Stop by anytime during our operating hours or give us a call at 215-898-4661. Our hours of operation are available on the ISS website at global.upenn.edu/ISSS. You should also follow us on Instagram at isss.penn to find out about important updates and fun events throughout the year. Now, I know studying in the United States is an exciting adventure, but it also comes with new rules, new systems, and new expectations. So today, I would like to share 10 important things every international student should know during your time in the United States. Think of this as your quick roadmap for success. 1. Your immigration status matters. As an international student, you enter the US with a visa, but you live here under your immigration status. Maintaining your status is one of your most important responsibilities. 2. Know the difference: visa versus status. Your visa allows you to enter the United States. Your status allows you to stay. It's okay if your visa expires while you're in the US, as long as your status remains valid. 3. Keep your documents valid. Always maintain a valid passport, typically at least 6 months into the future. Your I-20 for F1 students, or DS-2019 for J1 students and scholars, and your I-94 record. 4. Stay enrolled full-time. Most international students must maintain full-time enrollment each semester. Thinking about dropping a course? Always check with ISS first. 5. Never work without authorization. Employment in the US is strictly regulated. Even small or informal work without authorization can have serious consequences. When in doubt, check with ISSS before accepting any opportunity. 6. Plan ahead for travel. Before traveling internationally, make sure you have a valid passport, a valid visa, or understand how to renew it, a valid travel signature from ISSS. Always assess travel risks before booking. 7. Ask questions early. Many immigration issues happen because students wait too long to ask for help. At Penn, you have experts ready to support you. Know your ISS advisor and reach out early. 8. Protect yourself from scams. Unfortunately, scams sometimes target international students. Remember, government agencies do not threaten arrest over the phone, and they do not demand immediate payment. If something feels suspicious, pause and contact Penn Division of Public Safety at 215-573-3333. Build community. Your Penn experience is about more than academics. It's about friendships, leadership, and cultural exchange. Join ISS events, meet new people, and build your community. 10. You belong here. Penn is one of the most global universities in the world, with students from over 100 countries. Your presence matters. You are an essential part of Penn's global story. So during your time at Penn, remember, you are not navigating this alone. ISS is here to support you academically, culturally, and globally. And remember, stay informed, stay in status, stay connected, and I will see you around campus.
Okay, hope you got some words of wisdom here. Now let's play some Kahoot. So with this one, we want you to test knowledge. It's very time limited, and the top 3 winners will have a free dinner or meal with me. Okay. Last year we have 3 students joining me for a meal. Let's see who those lucky 3 who will have opportunity to get to know me. So look at that. Join us at Kahoot or with the Kahoot app, and the PIN number is 534324. So start joining.
This is opportunity.
Start joining.
Challenge.
And then we play. Let's see who will be the top 3 winners this
New
year,
ideas.
2026.
New ways of thinking.
Great. Thank you for joining us. This is exciting. I'm glad the enthusiasm here is wonderful. Okay. More joining. We'll wait. That's great. I think Let's give 5 more seconds, Mike, and then we'll start the game.
This is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Okay, let's play Kahoot. It's about Penn. First question. Ready? 12 questions here, and we will name who are the 3 champs for this year. First one. The first programmable electronic general purpose digital computer was born at Penn in 1945. What was it called? ENIAC, ChatGPT, EDSAC, VIC-20. C. Getting the answers. Okay, 62 of you answered ENIAC. And let's see who's winning, because that's the right answer. Lou. Lou is right now on the lead. Number 2, new and transfer international students must register with which of the following to activate CV status? Academic school, ISS online check-in, student residence dormitory, or call home. Mike, we have to change these questions for next year. It's too easy. It's giving away answers already. I can already see them getting this correct. Of course, a lot of you got 101 is the online check-in. Lou is still in the lead. Yep. And Shaurya is following next. Next one. What's the name of the sculpture in front of Van Pelt Library? That one, that white one. Love Statue, Cloud Gate, The Button, or Campus Compass? Let's see. I like this question. Not too easy. The cloud, it can be very tricky. Okay, see, I told you. It's very, very divided. The answer is The Button. Shaurya took over from Pep. Oh, Lou is gone, but Shaurya is now over. Which year was the University of Pennsylvania founded? 1740, 1619, 1831, or 1470? If you're coming to Penn, you should know this by now. Let's see. Okay, let's see. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Let's see if Shaurya is regaining the lead. 1740 is the correct answer. 73 answered. Whoops, Shaurya is still leading, followed by Peps and Pranshav. Now, according to Penn myth, what will happen if you step on the compass embedded into Logos Walk in the middle of campus? You will fail all of your finals. You have to be there. You will have to be the Penn Quaker mascot for a day. The ghost of Benjamin Franklin will visit you in your dreams at night, and it will rain on your commencement day. Let's see. What is the Penn myth? That's the compass. Okay, you're all divided, but the answer is you will fail all of your midterms. Okay, Shaurya is leading still. Wow, you're still strong. And then what's the name of the mascot for Philadelphia's National Football League team? The Eagles. Franklin the dog, Philly Fanatic, Swoop, Gritty. What's the name of this mascot? Let's see. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go. Answer is Philly Fanatic. Is not the correct answer. It's the other one, the greedy one. So Patty, Shaurya went down. Patty is leading now. Which of the following people did not graduate from the University of Pennsylvania? Benjamin Franklin, Sundar Pichai, John Legend, or Elizabeth Banks? Which one is not an alum of Penn? Benjamin, John, Sundar, or Elizabeth? All famous people. The answer, of course, is Benjamin Franklin. He discovered Penn, but Patty is still winning. Shaurya back to the lead. Wow, what a turnaround. The top of the Philadelphia City Hall building features a statue of which of the following people? Franklin, William Penn, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton. Is it Franklin, that person? Is it William Penn? Is it Thomas Jefferson or Alexander Hamilton? Let's see. The answer is, of course, William Penn. Oh, it stumped 40 of you. Shoria is still leading, staying the lead with Peps and Patty, second and third. Historically, which school is Penn's chief friendly rival? Princeton, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, or Drexel? Which is our Penn's friendly rival? Of course, Drexel is our neighboring university. Harvard is in Massachusetts, Princeton is in New Jersey, and Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Let's see. Oh, 47 said Princeton. Wow, very good. And that's the correct answer. And Mung or Jill is really following. And two more. When you receive an inquiry from U.S. officials asking for personal information or payment, who should you contact? Your bank, your ISS advisor, consult an immigration attorney, or U.S. Customs and Border Protection? You might be asking for personal information or payment. Who should you contact? The answer, of course, is your ISS advisor. Okay, Shoria is still in the lead. Monk or Gil is there. Two more questions. Philadelphians consume 12 times as many blank than the average person in America. Pretzel dogs, rods, hard pretzels, or soft pretzels. What do we like as Philadelphians? And when you come here, you should try this because a lot of them consume 12 times as many of this. So 3, 2, 1. And the answer is, of course, soft pretzels. Annie, I love the soft pretzels. And Shoria is leading still. Pawn and Peps. Okay, last question. Approximately what percentage of Penn students, scholars, and staff are international? 28%, 15%, 8%, or 44%? This can be the deciding factor. Who will be the top 3 finishers who will have a meal or a dinner or lunch with me or a brunch with me? Let's see. Okay, the answer is, of course, 15%. And let's see the top 3. Soria, you're joining me. Pawn, you're joining me. And Peps, you'll be joining me. The top 3 of you. Kelly Ma, one of my colleagues, she put her email in the chat. Send your email to us so that we can contact you for information so that you can schedule a meal with Dr. Rudy. Okay? With that, I think, Mike, we are going back to Dr. Hea for final key resources and important tips. Go for it.
All right. So I hope everyone had a good, good time playing the Kahoot, and you also maybe learning something new today. So as Dr. Rudy mentioned, please make sure that you reach out to Kelly. And I think her email address, in case it's not put on the chat. Oh, it's already put. It's yuema725@upenn.edu. If you're not able to follow that, then go on to ISS's website, check on the staff profile. You would also be able to find her email address there. So in this remaining section, I'm going to go through a few important resources that are really beneficial to the international student community. So please stay with us. And at the same time, if you have any other questions, make sure that in the Q&A that you can post your questions. And we have a few of our ISSS team members are also answering questions there. So next slide. So let's talk first about immunization and insurance, as well as medical care and mental health support. So all of the international students are required to submit their immunization records into their Penn chart account. So here there's a QR code that you can scan if you haven't already activate your Penn chart account, which does not get activated until July 1st, after July 1st. So now it's the window that you can submit all your immunization records. Maybe for some students that there might be certain immunizations, certain vaccines are not available in your country, that's okay. If you cannot get a vaccine shot that's required in your home country, you can wait until you come to the campus and then go to the student health center and then make sure that you do that as soon as you arrive and then get the vaccine and then submit the records in the Penn chart. Again, all of the records are supposed to be submitted by August 31st. But make sure that if you have any difficulties meeting the deadline, you email well-email@pobox@upenn.edu, the email address listed here, and talk to them about the difficulties you have and any questions that you may have about the vaccine requirements. Next slide. So kind of just some important kind of reminders that, when you are certainly full-time, but also when you get to the dissertation stage, and if you are an exchange student, you have to, you have to have a health insurance that meets the university requirement. You can use your own insurance, but you need to check with Penn to see if they meet the Penn's requirements. If you are going to use your own insurance, then you need to waive, PSIP, which stands for Penn Student Insurance Plan, Penn Student Insurance Plan. You need to waive that in the Penn chart, in your Penn chart account, so that you're not automatically enrolled, for that particular insurance plan by the deadline of August 31st. Make sure that you also really take a photo of both sides of your insurance card once you receive it. I would also recommend that you send, a copy of the insurance card to your family members, just in case, sometimes that they may also need to, help you to navigate the insurance, plan that you are going to be using here. One note about the PSIP, Penn Student Insurance Plan. It's a wonderful insurance plan. It's more expensive, but it really provides, much better coverage than any other insurance plan that you probably can find, on your own. And the insurance plan also has a representative on campus that can answer any questions that you may have. So I think for some students, if you have already studied in the US, you know that it takes a lot to call an insurance company, to ask your questions. But for Aetna, which is the PSIP insurance company, then they have a representative, that you can meet in person or email and call, that to get their help and assistance. Again, one important email address here for you to kind of note down, which is, again, any insurance questions that you have, you can email the well-shs and insure@pobox.upenn.edu, with your questions. Next slide. So both immunization insurance requirements are managed by the wellness division of the university. Under wellness, there is also the student health and student counseling support. So for medical care and counseling care, they provide 24/7 access and support. So students can really just call 215-746-9355 at any time if you have any questions about your both mental or physical health and you are unsure how you should go about whether you should go to in person to seek consultation or you should just monitor your symptoms. So that's a really wonderful support that's provided by Penn's Student Health and Counseling. But also for medical care, this would be your first start, your starting point. So if for any physical health concerns, what kind of insurance plan you have, you should start with student health, because it's already covered by the fee that you pay to the university. And so you won't have to pay like a copay or anything to access for the support, by the student health for their medical care, unless if there is some special kind of blood work or something special that will go beyond, the free services, and they would make you aware of that. So as you can kind of see, it has a coverage of a variety of, health support. So really be sure to utilize them when doing your study at Penn. For counseling and mental health support, similarly, you can access them 24/7. It does help with students and scholars, mostly students, with some sort of like emotional and, through individual and group therapy, but also for students on some sort of a psychiatric medication, student counseling is also the place that you can go to. Next slide. So that's just kind of an overview about the student health and counseling. If you, again, have any questions about that, make sure that you connect with, the wellness division. Make sure that you can also visit their website by signing up for their newsletter, to get the up-to-date information on events and different kinds of support that they will be sharing throughout the school year. So now, next is section, I'm going to talk about safety and scams. Next slide. So it's very important I think, for students and parents to know that, University City is in general a safer place. The university has the Division of Public Safety has both uniform and, and administrators who are really working behind the scene, but also on the front line to ensure that the university students, faculty, and staff are feeling safe and have the resources that support their kind of safety and well-being here at the University of Pennsylvania. So what are some of the resources? Next slide, we can look at, some of the informations that would help you better able to navigate, the University City or Philadelphia area in general. So there is a patrol area, which is from 30th Street to 43, and then also from Market to Baltimore Avenue. So for undergraduate students, you are required to live on campus, for the first 4 semesters. So certainly that will fall, just in this patrol zone already. For graduate students and scholars, you are going to live off campus. So you can also kind of track, where your apartment is located and whether it's within this patrol area. And if you haven't already secured an apartment, then, I would encourage you to prioritize, the patrol area as one of the more primary location for you to live off campus for your first year. So, throughout the campus, there is, we have this called PennCom Emergency Communications Center that also kind of takes calls 24/7, but also has cameras, monitor the cameras, throughout the campus. So everyone should, record this number on their phone. So 215-573-3333. So anytime for you or your parents, if you have any concerns about your safety or you want to report any incidents, this is the number to go to. In addition to that, during your study here, especially in the evening, we encourage students not to walk alone, but and you can also utilize the walking escort services by calling this number called 215-898-9255. So someone in the alley guard, they usually ride a bike. You will see them when you get to campus, and they will ask where you are located, and then our alley guard will be sent to your location and walk you over to, like the other academic building or, your apartment if they fall within the patrol area. And in general, there's also a helpline that students can call to, if you have questions about the general resources and support, by the university. So that's the 24/7 university helpline. One last note I want to make on this slide is that when you log in Path at Penn, after you come to Penn, maybe you will get a US phone number and you have a specific, your living address. Please make sure that you update that information in your account at Path at Penn, because then that would allow the university to send you any alerts. And this is a sort of like a requirement, whatever number that you put in there is the number that will be getting, the emergency notification. So just make sure that, you put the correct number and also the number that can receive those emergency notification. So it's very helpful to know sometimes what might be some incident happen in what areas of the campus, so you can avoid that. But also when the university is closed, that's also the the system that they use to make the Penn campus community aware of any university closure. All right, next slide. Dr. Rudy mentioned about scams in his earlier video. So again, I wanted to remind everyone that, scammers can be very convincing and they often pretend to be legitimate, government officials or policemen. So, and they often will engage in, a way that really pressure you to make you feel like you have to act immediately. And it oftentimes will lead to asking you not to report to anyone, or, you have to submit certain payment or, some personal information. Whenever that happens, please know that, that it's not legitimate, and most of the time. So when you are in doubt, don't respond, don't react, and go to DPS, call the number, or walk to DPS, Division of Public Safety office, and report this, incident. You can also, call ISSS or stop by ISS and reporting to us about what happened. But just make sure that you will never be asked, to submit payment to anybody or any agency or organizations on the phone in the United States. So there is a Penn Guardian app on this slide. And, again, you can also download this app that would allow you to access, some of these resources and others, that we've talked about today. And it's an app that can also give, the Division of Public Safety to track you down if there is a need to do so. All right, moving on, we will talk about housing and transportation. First, we will talk about the undergraduate housing. So for undergraduate students, your first 4 semesters, usually the first 2 years, you are required to live in the college houses. But after that, you have the option to continue to live on campus, or you can choose to live off campus. So for students, undergrad students, international students are allowed to move in on August 17th. So it's more of a self-service, because the general move-in for all students will start on August 18th. So on August 17th, there is an advantage to arrive, on that day, because we will be hosting, undergraduate student welcome picnics, from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And then there is also a concurrent section for undergraduate students' family, at the same time. So, students can bring their guests, to college houses, but you do need to register, guest passes. For the winter break or summer break housing, the office, residential services is the office that you should go to, to get information, or you will be receiving information from them directly about whether you would be allowed to, live on campus during the winter break, and also what are other kind of arrangement that you can have, for the summer break. So for graduate students in the next slide, since you will be living off campus, while we no longer have a graduate housing at Penn, but the university continues to extend support, to our students and scholars who live off campus. So Office of Campus Services, provides a lot of help with regard to locate housing and also understanding the lease agreements that you may sign with, private or big, small or big landlords. And oftentimes students may get into conflict with their landlords. And so you can also consider off-campus services as your first go-to to see what options you have and what resources they can provide to you. For instance, maybe involving an attorney, who may be doing pro bono work or some sort of legal consultation. So again, be sure to check out off-campus services website. They have housing, they have a listing of different properties there, but they also, offer information section and sometimes housing fair throughout the year. Next, so that's briefly about housing. And so whether you live on campus or off campus, transportation in the university city, you can navigate through taking Penn buses. So there are different routes, that you can kind of trying to find out, but there's also the additional support such as a Lucy loop through university that have both gold and green lines. And there is also evening safety shuttle that you can contact and make request. One of the perks for us, being in University City and be adjacent to Drexel University is that, Drexel students are allowed to take, to ride Penn buses and, vice versa. Penn students can also ride Drexel buses. So for all of this transportation, they are free as long as you show your Penn ID. There is a Penn Transit mobile app that can allow you to kind of see what are some of the options, what are the routes. And so again, you can, download the app, to be on your phone and so, to help you navigate, your transportation needs, while you're here. Okay, so next section, we have a couple more sections to go. Just make sure that if the questions I didn't, cover, the information I didn't cover here, but you have question about, you can put it in the Q&A section. Most of you are here to, get your degree, but also you are thinking about your career, your jobs and your careers. So the university has a central career services center that's very, very important for both students and undergrad students and grad students. So career services in the next slide, you can see that they provide career advising and, both about applying for internship, applying for jobs, but also about applying, can be about applying for graduate school. And they help you with, resume writing, how, cover letter writing, and help you also review the drafts that you put together. Additionally, they do mock interviews with you. I think for international students who are unfamiliar with the hiring culture in the US, this can be very beneficial for you to kind of get some practice before you kind of actually go into a formal interview with a potential employer. And if you are receiving an offer, whether it's an internship, whether it's a job, and it's normal for in the US to negotiate, your offer. So then a career services can also help you prepare for offer negotiation. One of the things about Ivy League or Penn education is that it kind of really exposes you to this vast, network of alumni. So here at My Penn, the portal, you will have access to Penn's, vibrant and wide range of the alumni community that's all over the world. So then, you can, reach out to alumni that you would be interested in the field that they are working in or in the specific region. And so that you can really take the advantage of this kind of resources, that's managed through the career services. For those students who are MBA students who are also maybe in law school, they have their own, career support. And so be sure that you do check that out. So if you are receiving the specific support from MBA office or law school, then, career services may not be the best fit for you. All right, so next. We will talk a little bit about the academic support. Again, it's very important to know, what kind of the variety of academic support you are getting, to help you succeed academically at Penn. So next slide that I'm going to introduce you to Weingarten Center. So Weingarten Center is this, umbrella has, within itself several offices. One is on academic and learning support. The other is on disability support, and they also have, a center that for students who receive, accommodation, where they administer exams and other kinds of text, for students. So through the Weingarten Center, students can really get to learn more about different kind of study strategies that may be better fitting for their current level of study. If you are a high school student and entering into your undergraduate study, maybe you do need to pick up some new study strategies. And if you are changing major, maybe there are certain strategies that will be much more efficient or beneficial to you. So Weingarten does a lot of those workshops on different study strategies. And they also kind of help students to figure out the more effective way with academic reading and writing. And a lot of the workshops will also be about time management, how to be productive, and how to transition into a U.S. education system, by making the best adjustment that you can. So in addition to attending the workshops that's going to be hosted by Weingarten, you can also request one-on-one support, with their learning instructor. So they have a portal on their website that you can go on to make those appointments, but also to register, for their workshops. Next. In addition to Weingarten, you have a tutoring center. Tutoring center is also part of Weingarten. So again, on different subjects, if you are needing, greater support, getting a tutor, to help you is a great idea. So then you can kind of really work with the tutoring center, to make sure that you are going to get the subject or the content support that you may need. For graduate population, Graduate Student Center also runs its own programming to support the unique needs that's tailored, that's pertaining to the graduate population, whether you're a master or PhD students. There are, in general, students are encouraged to take advantage of the office hour that's often hosted by their TAs or professors. This is again, one of the really beneficial supports, for students by being able to talk directly to TAs and professors with questions that you may have and you don't get to ask in classes, but also simply just to get to know the professor and TA and also make yourself known to them. So in the future that, if you need a reference letter and, then your professor has more information about who you are, and also they can better support you, with the course. That's about academic support. Next, we are going to talk about, community support. In general, those are very specific support that students can get. But we also have an office at the university. It's called Student Intervention Services. For both students and families, sometimes, students may get into some sort of situation that's complicated that requires requires the universities to mobilize, different kinds of resources and come together to better support the student and the family. So that's where the Student Intervention Services comes in. They are really the office that help that help students and families in difficult situation, and both academically and through well-being. So they are the kind of the office that can connect with any parts of the university to make sure that students and families are getting the need that they have, and they are being supported while they are here. We also have the Office of the Chaplain, and also called Spiritual and Religious Life Center, SPARC, and that serves and supports different student organizations, fellowships and religious communities. At SPARC, the center, they have they hold hours and spaces for students who maybe need to practice who have certain practices throughout the day, and they also do programming to really help improve interfaith understanding and help the university to have a more meaningful and collaborative relationship across different religious differences. Again, make sure that these are the offices that for some students can be very important, but for some students that at times that they actually will really need it, but the other times it's good for you to be aware of. So I think that's a kind of a quick run through of several important resources for the at the university. And now I think I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rudy. We actually kind of end a little bit earlier. I mean, we still have about half an hour. So Dr. Rudy, I'm going to turn it over to you to see what you want to do with it.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. He, for your very extensive information that we gave our students. We are very thankful that you stay put, and because these are very important for you as you navigate the Penn landscape. So as we conclude today's session, let me turn on my camera. I'm sorry, I forgot about this. I'm trying to navigate this. Okay, as we conclude today's session, I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you joining us. We hope today's program has helped you feel more prepared and excited about your upcoming journey to Penn. And remember, today's session is just the beginning. We look forward to welcoming you back tomorrow for day 2 of our pre-arrival orientation. Tomorrow, as I've said earlier, you'll have the opportunity to hear directly from 3 Penn faculty members who will share insights about academics and the classroom experience, as well as current Penn undergraduate and graduate students who will talk about their own transition to Penn, offer practical advice, and answer your questions about student life. We encourage you to join us for what promises to be an engaging and informative conversation. So on behalf of everyone at International Student Scholar Services, I thank Donna and Lily and Yuhong and Mike who created this PowerPoint, Kelly who is working with Yuhong and the integration team, and Dr. Mara Flam and Dr. Adiola Uyeyemi, 2 of our advisors who were with us today for spending part of their day with us. Okay, we wish you all the best as you continue to preparing for your arrival. Safe travels in the weeks ahead, and we look forward to welcoming you to campus very soon. Have a wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, maybe for some of you, but in the evening tomorrow. See you. Bye-bye.